Mike O'Neill and welcome to FlyBoyz. So for the past week I've been working on the workbench that you see behind me over my shoulders. It's an old workbench that was down here in the basement when we bought the house. It was pretty much a behemoth of a thing. It was pretty rickety, so I've spent the last week basically putting it back together so it's a lot more solid and usable. And today I got a coat of primer on it, and tomorrow I intend to put a coat of paint on it, and then it goes back into position against the wall that you see in the background there behind me with the pegboard. And hopefully that takes care of that workbench and gives me another fairly decent work surface to work on. But what this is really about is tomorrow, which is Sunday, March 5th here, the club that I belong to, the Stars, which is the Syracuse Thunderbirds Aero Radio Society, is having their annual snow fly. It's a little later this year than normal. As a result, there's not a lot of snow on the ground here either, but there is some patches of snow out at the flying field. It's supposed to be a really good day for flying tomorrow, with one exception, and that is that it's going to be sunny. It's going to be very low wind, but the exception is the fact it's only going to be 25 to 30 degrees out. Actually, that works out for me because the control line field at the Stars tends to be a little bit of a lake at this time of the year, and it doesn't make for good flying when there's water on the field. But tomorrow the lake will be frozen, so whatever standing water there is on the field will be frozen, and I have no problems taking off from that field and landing on any patches of ice that I may encounter along the way. So my friend Steve Dwyer, who is my control line flying buddy, and we plan to be out there about noontime tomorrow. And I'm going to be flying the Ringmaster, which you see over my shoulder here. This will be the first time I'll have flown it since rebuilding it yet again. It's been rebuilt at least 3, if not 4 times now. And I finished rebuilding it from its last incident here a couple months ago. Haven't had a chance to fly it since because of the winter here. I've also got an old OS 25 LA Max on it that I inherited from somebody. I did a FlyBoyz post about that here a couple months back, talking about cooking an engine. So if you want to know what that's all about, I just refer you back to FlyBoyz for that. But the engine cleaned up real nice, and it's installed back on the Ringmaster. So I'm looking to see how it runs tomorrow. I'm expecting some good performance on it, because even when it was all gunked up, it was a good running engine. So now it's all clean. I hope that it'll run even better. So I'm going to go out to the field with the Ringmaster and hopefully get in a couple flights. I'm not expecting any great aerobatics or anything like that, because it's been 4 or 5 months since I've flown, so it's going to be rusty. Just looking to get out and tighten up the lines a little bit and maybe get in a few flights with my friend Steve. So right now I'm going to pause this and I'll pick this back up, hopefully with some video from the flying field tomorrow. So see you back here in a little bit. Hi, well, I'm back from the first fly-in session of the season, and as you can see from the video, things kind of sort of went okay. The ringmaster itself flew fine, but the engine did experience a power loss about a minute or two into the flight and pretty much bogged down for the remainder of the flight. About a minute or two left in the flight, it did seem to lean itself out and gain some power back again. But because of the power loss, I pretty much kept everything to straight and level for the majority of the flight. We're not sure what that engine loss was all about. It could have been the fact that it was all of 21 degrees outside and that engine just didn't want to run in that temperature. Or it could be the fact that I cleaned and overhauled the engine here recently and it may need a little bit of a run-in period before it's back up to peak power. Or it could be the fuel just didn't like the temperature either at 21 degrees. In any event, the flight went okay. I made a successful landing and the plane came out in one piece. So anytime I can come home with the ringmaster in one piece, that's a successful day at the flying field. My flying buddy Steve Dwyer did come out to the field. He decided not to fly. He felt it was too cold to pull his gear out and get it all set up. So he just acted as my ground crew, which he does very well. There was quite a good crowd at the Stars over at the RC side of the field. A lot of folks there flying all different kinds of planes. I have one or two photos in my post here, which you can see that there was quite a good attendance at the event. So that pretty much does it for my first flight session of the year. It felt good to get out there again. I look forward to some warm temperatures so I can get out there a little more frequently and figure out that engine issue and get back to flying. So for now, thank you for watching, and I look forward to more video updates in the future here on FlyBoyz. So thank you and keep your lines tight. Bye.